Okay, maybe we can kickstart now. Firstly, can we put a thumbs up in terms of audio? Can you guys the attendees hear us okay there? If you can, could you please put a thumbs up in the chat if it's all okay audio wise? Okay. Okay, great. So I'd say let's get started now. So thank you guys for jumping on board with us today. We are myself, Gavin from Cybersecurity Brain, and Sean Hanna, our lead instructor.
Hiya.
Okay, so yeah, Cybersecurity Brain. Who exactly are we? We are a new training provider here in Vancouver. We've launched in Vancouver in the last couple of months, and we have our preliminary training courses coming up in June and July, covering the IT security spectrum, the CISSP, the CISA, and the CISM. So we're going to start with these three flagship courses, and we have other ones penciled in throughout the year later on. So, but we're going to start off with these ones and see where we go from there. So the running for today is just to give an overview of the courses, and we'll introduce Sean, our instructor, and then we can answer any questions you may have regarding any of the courses, any of the certifications. We'll be happy to help you out. So we've been working with Sean for the last number of years. We decided that we'd bring Sean in because Sean's a man we know very well, we trust, and we wanted to bring him in to lead the first round of courses we are running here in Vancouver. So we've done much work with Sean in the past, and we're grateful to have him here online with us today to go over the courses in a bit more detail and then answer any questions we have. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Sean. He'll stick up his slides here on the screen, and we can kickstart.
Okay, thank you very much, Gavin. Let me just kick off my slide deck. Okay, you should have some slides on the screen now. Let me just go and pop that onto full screen. So here we go. Okay, folks, you should be able to see the intro slide there. Thanks for the introduction, Gavin. I'm very excited to be invited to come over to take our unique security and cyber offerings over into Vancouver. So what we would like to do today is do some brief introductions, explain why our proposition is a little bit different, and really explain the opportunities in the world of information security and cyber. It's a growing, burgeoning market, and there's a lot of skills gaps and a lot of opportunities within the cyber and infosec space. And we have some very carefully tailored and chosen options that can help either accelerate your career into a new role within cyber or security, or build on those existing skills and take you up to the next level. So a little bit about myself. I've been working in the IT game for over 25 years. I've done many roles, mainly on Microsoft systems, including being an Active Directory and Exchange architect. I was also a team lead and a direct report. And at the moment, I run my own business called Nemstar. We're an information security consultancy organization. And some of the stuff we do, apart from consultancy and pen testing and audit, we also provide training courses and workshops. So we're a little bit different because we're predominantly consultants, pen testers, and security experts. We do offer services right across EMA and further afield on those particular things. We're practicing consultants. We also take those skills that we learn in the field, and we do a range of unique, bespoke security training events. We try to share that expertise and knowledge that we've gained from the 25 years experience that we've had in the field, and we put that into our training programs. It's a little bit different than simply going and getting a trainer who's learned something out of a book and doesn't have those real life experiences and can't give you the war stories from the field, as it were. So why cyberbrain? Why information security? Yep.
Hey, Sean, I'll just stop you there for 1 second. We can only see half your screen, so I'm just going to flick over to mine, and then we'll flick over and we'll flick
just
back
a small issue with the screen sharing.
Yeah, just we can only see half your screen. So if you just go for the share again there, we can get you up running. So
okay, let me just try this again, folks. Sorry about that. What I'll just go is for my entire desktop. The last time I shared PowerPoint, so I apologize.
There we go.
You should now be getting my desktop with a screen. Okay, my apologies, folks. Can I ask, Gavin, if you've seen the last slide or not? So the last slide was just my intro slide. Did you see that one?
We only saw that half of it.
Okay.
Sitting there.
Okay, hopefully it wasn't the half of my photograph on it. I wouldn't mind if you didn't see that. Okay, folks, let's get stuck back in again. So this is the next slide. Okay, why cyberbrain? Why information security? Well, information security is a relatively new discipline. Now, I know people can track its history back to the 1960s, but the demand has really been in the last 10 or 12 years. In the last 10 or 12 years, we've seen a massive increase in the amount of money lost by businesses of different sizes as a result to hacking, information loss, disaster recovery failure, project failure, a range of different negative events. That's created a demand for professionals who can go into organizations and businesses and help them save money by defending information security and cyber assets, by planning projects and investments, to making sure that a business understands and manages the risks that they face when using IT and IT systems. We've got some startling statistics. The statistics in Canada are quite hard to come by, so I did go south of the border for these ones. We have got Stanford University coming up with research in 2016, Q4 in 2016, that more than 209,000 jobs are open in cyber. These are vacant positions that are open at the moment that need skilled personnel. The number of jobs we've advertised in this space has gone up 74% in just the last 5 years. If we go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they expect this growth to continue. It's not just continuing, 74% in 5 years. But next year, in the next 12 months, we expect it to increase by a further 53%. In the European market, there is zero unemployment in information security. We have nearly 100,000 open roles. The reason is very straightforward. It makes a common sense return on investment business case to protect your assets, to invest in the skills that you need internally, rather than paying ridiculous fees on external consultants and external support all the time. What we're trying to do is to bring those skills inside businesses, banks, and organizations to reduce the over-reliance in extremely expensive consulting. In the past 6 months in Europe, I've been working with PwC, Deloitte, and EY, Ernst & Young, the 3 biggest consultancy houses, because they're growing their information security business this calendar year by 200%. They want to triple their workforce in this area. And to do that, they're even going out and training new graduate recruits as quickly as we can. So we're working with these organizations, helping build out and equip the next generation of information security and cyber experts. The demand really is genuine and is only going to get bigger. Okay, they reckon, the CEO at Symantec, one of the world's biggest information security companies, Michael Brown, estimates by 2019, in 2 years' time, there's a 1.5 million person shortfall in the number of skilled, experienced people we have and what we actually need. 1.5 million jobs that we cannot fill. These are facts. These are statistics. I'm a very rational person. There's a need in the market, and that need, that growth, is in information security and cyber. If you want to take a look at it, it's a very big misconception that you have to be uber technical, that all security jobs require a hoodie, a beard, and a habitual 11-hour-a-day internet addiction. You know, this is now a business requirement. This is a professional service area. It's a core business function. The skills that you need in this area are not just the technical skills. That's not enough. We need to understand risk and risk analysis and risk assessment, and we need to understand the business strategic models, the business growth models, the business roadmaps and plans. Information security and cyber is about taking all of those skills together and producing seasoned professionals that can work across different disciplines within the business in order to manage information security risk. I was asked if I could choose to introduce a new range of courses into Canada, which ones would I choose? And these, working with CyberBrain, these are our choices. We could offer virtually any type of information security training, but these are the ones that we think best address the needs and requirements in the Canadian market. We have 4 different basic offerings. Each one is an industry accredited certification. Each one of them not just covers your professional certification, each one focuses on how to deliver results, how to deliver managed risk within businesses. So we have different flavors for different areas because cyber has a large number of different disciplines. We have some essential core stuff in something called a CISSP, a 5-day deep dive into the theory of security. We have the internationally infamous Certified Ethical Hacking Program, the Uber Tech Hacking Program, where you learn all the tips and tricks of the hackers. And then we've got 2 things that are a little bit different. Huge demand for management within information security and within audit for information security. So we have got the global standard in information security managers, it's a management accreditation, and we've got the global standard in information security auditing, an audit accreditation. So between these 4, we've covered the core, we've covered the technical, we've covered the management, we've covered the audit. These are specific job roles and skills that are in demand right now. So we've split these into what we call 2 pathways. A pathway is sort of giving you career progression from one point to a different point. So within cyber, you know, we have introductory roles, we have intermediate roles, we have management roles. You can even go up into governance and into executive roles. So we're talking about quite a deep structure. It's not really like an IT team where most of the skill set is technical. Within cyber, the skill set definitely has to be technical, but it goes into risk, audit, and management in equal amounts. So if you want a management pathway, if you're interested in getting, you know, from IT or an audit background and moving into the management field, the pathway is CISSP, CISA, and CISM. So these would sort of take your career on the route, the trajectory that would give you the right skills, the right certifications, the right letters behind your name to get jobs in those areas. So it's a 3-step process. if you really must, it's like an introductory, intermediate, and advanced pathway. Now, that's for the management of security. That's working, a little bit less technical, more to do with audit and policy and guidelines and risk management and business case, and it's very business focused. If you're more technical, if your pathway and your background is you're a technologist, well, then that's a different pathway. The technical skill pathway still starts with a CISSP. Everything starts with a CISSP. We'll explain why in a little second, because we'll look at each of these in a little bit more detail. So this pathway goes from CISSP into ethical hacking, and you can even go into the advanced hacking toolkit, the pinnacle of the technical skill set. In this one, you're not concentrating on policies and procedures and audit and business continuity planning. In this one, it is SQL injection, it's Metasploit, it's black hat hacking, it's pivoting, it's the attacking aggressive pen test side of information security and cyber. Now, let's spend just a few seconds, take a quick look at each of these four things. Now, each one of them, each one we have picked to be the global standard in that area. Each one comes with a certification, a globally recognized industry certification. Each one of them also delivers real life, practical skills, things you can take back into the office and you can get a return on investment pretty much immediately. So, these things, we don't take them lightly. CISSP is like the entrance level, but it's not an introductory course. CISSP is the start of everything. You want a management role, you want a technical role, you want a development role, you want a physical security role. Doesn't matter what role in security you want, it all starts with CISSP. The idea of CISSP is it tries to cover every possible control. If you go and look at it a little bit more detail, it's got these 8 domains of knowledge. These 8 domains of knowledge are really the 8 CBKs. Okay, these are the 8 modules, if you like. It covers everything from risk through security engineering, cryptography, fire prevention, health and safety. It goes into end user awareness training, VPNs and IPSs. It goes into attack types. It even goes into secure coding and secure code development. The CISSP is a 100% holistic overview. It's your solid grounding, your background in information security. CISSP is a jack of all trades, master of none. You cover a little bit on everything. I normally say to people, it's like 3 inches deep, but it's 5 miles wide. So you're not going into any topic in a lot of detail. What you're trying to cover is every possible topic. Really is quite a challenge. What you're really learning is taxonomy, the language that we use in information security to describe our problems, to describe our solutions, to calculate the risks, to be able to go and do architecture and design. It's a great starting point, but it's not what you would call an introductory course. This is hard. This is hard technical topics. We're going into crypto in detail. We're going into VPNs in detail. We're going into hacking in detail. There's a lot of material in it. It really is about making sure there's no gaps in your knowledge, that your base layer, your foundation is very, very solid. In actual fact, if you want to do any of the other 3 exams or courses, this is really the one that you should think about doing first. This is such a powerful course. Now, if you have a good background, you can go straight on other events. But this really is a great background, a solid foundation. CISSP. CISM, different. This is a manager's level certification. This is a course that tries to give you tools, techniques, frameworks, processes things that you can use to build an information security department, a cyber department, a new function or department within your business. It's about getting sponsorship, about building a mission and a vision statement, about creating a security strategy that can deliver cost-effective managed risk controls. This is all business. This is all about management. This is completely not a technical course. Not saying it's easy. It's all about risk management and making sure the business gets what it wants. We're looking at governance, risk. We're looking about how to develop and maintain and support a department, how to do budgetary control and how to manage staff. And we're looking about how to build an effective incident management function within your business, a security incident management function. So CISM, 100% management focused. It's more like a Harvard MBA than it is a Microsoft MCSE. It's all about building the next generation of strategic leadership, leaders, people who can show leadership in the field, who can take control and build a function or department and lead that next generation of cyber teams. So if you're in the management sphere, CISM is definitely the route that you want to take. A sister course, a relative of CISM and CISA, they're like brother and sister. CISA is about auditing, security testing, health checks. It's about project audits, quality audits, security audits. This is about a risk-based audit program. Audit provides testing, assurance, evidence to the business. Audits tell senior managers if information security is functioning properly. See, it's very hard to measure your return on investment in information security. You know, if the business gives us money to spend, we need to be able to prove that that money has been spent effectively. We need to prove that the business case objectives have been met and we've managed a return on investment. This is what audit's really about. This is not the audit experience that you might have. This is an CISA substantive audit process. In this CISA concept, the auditor is the ultimate subject matter expert with deep consulting skills and architectural skills in information security. The auditor is like an internal consultant. They work across a wide variety of projects and departments. They go in and audit the needs and requirements, and they help architect and design the solution. This is not a tick box audit process. This is not you've passed or failed. This is not a regulatory audit. We call those compliance audits. These are auditors as subject matter experts, the people who work across all the business functions, and they're equally happy talking about return on investment, about business cases, about profit and loss statements, as they are talking about PKI and cryptology and VPN encryption controls. They breach both sides of the field. Okay. Can you tell I actually like CISA? You see, CISA is audit, but not as you know it. It's perfect for new people into information security audit, experienced auditors who are already auditing IT and IS, and they want to learn new techniques, new methods. They want to solidify their skills and progress their career. It's also really quite good for managers, information security and IT managers who have to be audited. A lot of companies these days have compliance and regulatory requirements, and you have to pass your audit. If you're an information security manager, it's a vital skill to understand what the auditors are looking for, how the auditors are taught, and what the auditors are told to do. If you understand how an auditor is about to audit your department and function, then you can much more effectively design a solution that will meet the auditor's requirements. It's a little bit like cheating. Okay, so if you're in a regulatory environment, if you're in a banking environment or a public sector environment, passing the audit is a critical part of your function, a critical part of your requirement. So a little bit different than normal audit. I always call it audit, but not as you know it. And we have the CISA domains: auditing, governance, information acquisition, software development, ITIL, operations service desks. It's a good, solid course, CISA. The last one we're going to take a look at, we're about 3 or 4 minutes away from rounding up. The last one we're going to take a look at is the most technical one. It is easily the world's most advanced ethical hacking training course. This is an intensive, technical, deep dive into the world of cyber and hacking. You will go through a multitude of technically advanced hacks, from SQL injections to remote code buffer overflows, cross-site scripting. We'll be doing Metasploit and obfuscation. This is a hacking course. But why? Why would you want to pay a staff member? Why would your business want you to learn how to hack? It's quite simple, really. Our job in cyber and security is to protect the infrastructure and the information. But you cannot prepare your defenses if you don't know what weapons, tools, and techniques the enemy use. So the goal of learning how to hack is not really learning how to hack. The goal of learning how to hack is to understand what your enemy's going to do against you, so you can go to your defenses and you can design them and you can configure them to better withstand the attacks. This really is a useful skill to have within a company. There are 18 technical modules on this course. This course is a behemoth. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not easy. I'm not going to say you get, 2-hour lunch breaks, because you don't. This is a long, hard course with a wealth of information. But I tell you what, at the end of the week, we've pretty much been through every possible, conceivable way that a hacker can attempt to gain access to your systems. It really is a gem of a course. It is genuinely one of my favorite all-time courses. I shouldn't really be saying this, but you know what? This one is just fun. Okay, we have great fun on this course because you get 5 days to play with all those hacker toys. And there's a reason for it. You're not just going to play for the sake of playing. We're going to teach you how to hack because you need to be able to understand what is it that these people are doing? How are they compromising my system? How are they stealing my data? How are they cracking my passwords? Because if you understand that, it's only then can you attempt to look at your technical controls, to test your technical controls, to make sure your business is secure and that your security is fit for purpose. Not only do you do that, just to make it really one of the most challenging, in-depth courses you can possibly imagine, we throw in an intensive 4-hour hacking exam on the final day, because you get a chance of going at the full, globally recognized, certified ethical hacker accreditation on the final day of the event. You can get your CEH accreditation. If you don't know what it is, go to Google, type in CEH job, and have a look at what comes up. So what we just did was take 30 minutes of your time to try to explain what the opportunities are within cyber and how there's different pathways and opportunities for different backgrounds. We haven't even looked at things like software development pathways, physical security pathways. There are other pathways as well within cyber. We simply picked 2 of the most popular, 2 with the largest current market demand. The management pathway, which starts with your CISSP, goes through your CISA and onto your CISM. The technical pathway, which starts again with your CISSP, goes on to your CEH, and goes into your Advanced Hacking Toolkit. Advanced Hacking Toolkit is for a later session, but it takes your hacking skills right to the very weaponized stage. We call it a weaponized course. It really takes you into the advanced hackers' tools and techniques. My name is Sean Hanna. I am very lucky to be involved with Cybersecurity Brain. I've worked with these guys in Dublin. They built and helped build one of Ireland's and Europe's largest, and I would say best, information security providers. And I'm delighted to continue my 10-year relationship by coming over to Vancouver this summer and hopefully sharing with you some of our world-class information security programs. I hope it's the start of something good. Okay, I already have my plane tickets booked. I will be in Vancouver this summer on the 3rd of July for CISSP, the 10th of July for CISM, and the 17th of July for CISA. Okay, I really do hope that you consider some of our offerings, and I really do hope that we see you at one of our up-and-coming sessions. At this stage, Gavin, what I'm going to do is put the screen share back over to yourself if you want to go and take control, and you can close out for us tonight.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. I'll flick back over to mine. We had a couple of questions there, Sean, if you that came in.
Great.
The last couple of minutes, so I could read a couple of them out, and we can maybe address them. If that's okay.
Good. Let's have a go up.
Yeah. So one question. Hi, Sean. My company is growing quite quickly, and our IT team are now wearing an IT security hat. While we outsource a lot of the security, we feel it's now time to train our internal staff in order to retain them and to develop our security programs further. So I'm debating between the CISSP and the CISM. Which one do you think will be best in terms of the quickest win in terms of study time? So for someone like this.
Right. Oh, it's a quick win question. Well, look, I'm going to answer it in two ways, right? The proper way to do it is CISSP first, CISM second. The reason why it is CISM includes all of the topics in CISSP. So if you're going to go straight in for your CISM, it's a shorter course, it's a shorter exam, but your study time after the course would be much greater because you're going to have to study the CISSP material anyway. The CISM course is about how to manage security, but you'll be expected to know what all the controls do, what all the risks and the threats are. We're telling you in a CISM course, really, how to take the knowledge you've learned in CISSP and use it to manage risk. Does that make sense, Gavin?
That makes sense, yes. I think you answered that one fine. There was one more question, a couple of more questions.
Okay.
Are your courses for people who are just starting off their study, or for those who are just looking to carry out the exam?
Okay, well, we never do exam courses. I have never delivered an exam course in my life, because you can go to any training provider, you can go to online courses, there's other ways to do it. So if you just want the exam, I always like to be honest, you mightn't like this one, Gavin, but if you only want the exam, there are cheaper ways to do it than come to us. What we do is we try to tell you how to do a job. We try to give you practical skills, things that you can take back into the office and use. I mean, one of the most important things that I do in my courses is I've been consulting for 25 years in this space. I try to explain to you the same advice that I charge for my customers. So I try to give you the inside lines, teach you how to do a job, how to solve a problem. The certifications are on those jobs. So if I teach you how to be an information security manager, the exam is on how to be an information security manager. If I teach you how to hack, the exam is on how to hack. So there are easier, quicker, cheaper ways to pass the exam. We cover both the hands-on material and secondary. It's definitely a secondary objective. We also cover the exam material. How does that one sound?
Excellent. I think that answered it perfectly. There's a couple of more questions. Should
Okay.
in terms
Shoot
of
away.
booking the exam, someone asked, should I be doing the course at the beginning of my learning journey or only when I've booked my exam?
Oh, that's a brilliant question. Okay, so very practical advice, okay? CISSP, you're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks study after the course, okay? So even though CISSP is a 5-day course, we support you outside the course, because what we actually do in CISSP is we do a deep dive and then we give you a study program and we support you for the next 6 or 8 weeks during your study program. We do webinars, we give you sample exams. It's about 6 to 8 weeks after CISSP, you're ready to do the exam. So you wouldn't bother booking CISSP until you finish the course. You definitely start off with a course. CISM and CISA are very similar. You're ready to do the exam much quicker, much sooner after the course, but only if you have the prerequisite. The prerequisite for both CISM and CISA is CISSP or a CISSP level of knowledge. CISSP is really information security. So if you've got less than 3 or 5 years working in information security, you should really do CISSP first. If you've 3 to 5 years experience, come straight on the CISM or the CISA.
Okay.
Because it's only 2 to 3 weeks after the course you want to do the exam. You want to book the exam before the course.
Okay, great. That makes sense. So I'm just...
Is that okay?
Yep, that's good. It doesn't look like we have any more questions. So yeah, I'd just like to say then, thank you, Sean, for your time. We really appreciate it, and thank you everyone for jumping on board today. As a gesture,
No problem, Gavin. Thank you.
As a gesture of goodwill to all the attendees that jumped on today, we would like to pass on to them a 10% discount off any of our courses that we're running this coming summer in Vancouver. Any questions about that, you can contact us at inquiry@cybersecuritybrain.ca. We'll be happy to let you know what the details are. Otherwise, if you have any other specific questions that you could not think of now, we're happy to answer them. You can email us or call us or visit the website cybersecuritybrain.ca. But I think we've addressed enough for today. Thank you, Sean, for your time.
No problem. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight.
Okay, and with that, we'll close the webinar.
Bye. You're going to stop recording, Gavin? Are you still on?
Get 1 sec.